I am more of an intuitive eater, so it's hard for me to stick to any meal plan or do a lot of prepping because I might not want what has already been prepped. And although I have a privilege of working from home, I adore easy and quick down-to-earth recipes without any exotic ingredients or tools. Well, at least exotic for Siberia, where I live. Hey my friends, if you're new here, I'm Anna and this is my channel about everything that is mindful, minimalist and creative. And today I want to share with you one of my favorite, not one, but several of my favorite snacks or light lunch or dinner options, whatever works for you. So they are very simple and quick to make. They don't require any fancy equipment. So I'm using just a grater, a simple blender and a waffle maker. But if you don't have any of these appliances, please don't be discouraged. When my husband and I were living in the Republic of Georgia, we were living very minimally and we had only one saucepan, one pan and a grater. And we cooked every day. I mean, like, we didn't have any sort of culinary inferiority complex at all. So all the recipes here will be vegan and also gluten-free, but of course there is always a field for you to experiment. This is the salad of my childhood. When I grew up, my mom was always worried about me not getting enough iodine, so seaweed was always a staple in our family menu. Siberia is relatively close to the Russian Far East. That's why sea cabbage, or so-called laminaria, is the most accessible and affordable type of seaweed that we can get here. And for example, for 1 can of seaweed that I use in the recipe, I paid 50 cents. And I absolutely love that type of seaweed, like sea cabbage, and I can eat it just as it is without anything else. But of course, in the form of salad, it's much tastier. For the simple salad, we'll need laminaria. If you don't have it, maybe try other types of seaweed available to you. We'll also need 2 small carrots, a small clove of garlic that you can omit as well, but I like that bit of zestiness that it adds. And I use vegan mayo. You can take regular mayo or olive oil. Fat is needed here to help the absorption of vitamin A from the carrots. So go on, peel and grate the carrots. I use the smaller grater side. I don't have a garlic press, so I use the same grater. Then add seaweed, mix, season. I use a mix of peppers and add mayo, and that's it. I also like decorating salads, so I'm putting a slice of leftover boiled carrot and chopped spring onions. It's perfect with a slice of rye bread, but I'm happy eating the salad as it is. This is my favorite quick protein meal, and I'm a fan of tofu and a fan of soy in all forms. And I haven't tried making tofu at home yet from soybeans, so that's why I buy tofu from the local grocery store. And I find soy to be very beneficial for my health, but of course, like, it's different for everyone. As for the pate format, I just love it. I used to buy pre-made tofu pate from a southern Russian company, but it was kind of on a pricey side, and then I figured out this recipe that I will show you, and it's just so much tastier. For a protein-packed snack, we will need plain tofu. I have a 250 grams pack here, which is 8.8 ounces approximately. Smoked paprika, garlic powder, as it just works better than raw garlic here. Tomato paste, yes, just humble tomato paste. It's super cheap here and I use it everywhere. And then rice crisps or rice cakes, I don't know what's the right thing. You can replace them with bread or other types of crisps or cakes to your liking, but I just love rice ones. They're from a Russian company too, just the name is in German for marketing reasons, I guess. And pickles. Feel free to replace pickles with fresh tomato or cucumber slices. Take tofu, then approximately 2.5 tablespoons of tomato paste, about a teaspoon or less of garlic powder, and about a teaspoon of smoked paprika. I also add some olive oil because the tofu is pretty dry this time. Then blend everything until smooth. If you don't have a blender, try to use the fork. The texture might be different, but it's definitely worth trying. And that's it. Let's put the pate in a glass jar and then assemble our snack. I add dill here as well, and spring onions can add a great taste too. The pate is smooth, fragrant, with a little bit of a sour and sweet note from tomato paste, smoky and zesty note from spices, and it's very, very filling. A snack after which your stomach and mind are completely happy. This salad used to be a staple in my family festive menu, and I guess it's widely spread all across Eastern Europe, just in many variations. And I will show you just a variant that works for me. And for it, you will need to boil or roast beets in advance, or just buy a pre-boiled beet if it's available. I have beets that are already cooked here, so I guess 2 smaller ones will do. We'll also need walnuts and prunes. I buy whole walnuts as they are cheaper and are fun to crack. I always wash and soak walnuts for some minutes to increase their digestibility. Then washing and soaking prunes too. Then the scheme is easy and familiar. Just grate the beets, chop the walnuts and prunes. Then add a pinch of salt, some pepper, or maybe nothing. And you can eat it as it is or add some oil. I'm adding flaxseed oil for extra omega-3. If you're a garlic person, feel free to add some garlic here as well. The salad is on the sweet side due to the beets and prunes, but it makes it a very satisfying snack when we crave for regular sweets, I guess. I grew up in a partly Jewish family, so we frequently had those Ashkenazi dishes that are very dear to my heart. And latkes were the favorite dish of my grandfather, who passed very early and I barely remember him. But every year we had a grand latke day to commemorate him, like in his honor. And also they were favorite dish of my father, so that's why now every time when I cook those potato beauties, I think of the family that passed. So it just adds that extra meaning to the dish. Also, latkes are similar, if not identical, to Ukrainian draniki, and I bet that like across Eastern Europe, again, there are so many variations of this dish. Originally, they are pan-fried and served with sour cream, but I'm using my waffle maker just in order to use it. And anyway, like I love the taste and the crispiness, but of course, if you don't have a waffle maker, just feel free to use the frying pan. The original recipe includes eggs, but I omit them. For one portion, we'll need 2 or 3 potatoes. I have smaller ones here. Rice flour, I have whole rice flour, then onion and salt. Then you know what's coming, the grater. We peel and grate the potatoes and also grate some onion. I don't use a lot of raw onion, just a bit to add some zesty, savory flavor that I like, and also to prevent raw potatoes from oxidation. It's just when they get brown. Then we are adding some salt and then rice flour. I don't have any exact measurements because potatoes can be different. Some are juicier, some are drier, so we need to aim at this sort of texture and thickness. Then preheat the waffle maker. I grease it with some grapeseed oil, just a tiny little bit to ensure that no sticking occurs. Then I distribute the batter, close and wait. For my waffle maker, it takes about 10 minutes or sometimes a bit more. Et voila, they are ready. Please don't consider me a food criminal, but most times I eat waffles without any toppings, just as they are, super tasty. Or maybe some dill or other greens. But I, of course, highly recommend eating them with sour cream. Yeah, definitely. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end, my friends. Let me know in the comments what are your favorite snacks or light lunch, dinner options, or maybe you know some other and maybe better variations of the recipes that I showed you here. So please share. You be safe and have a lovely day, and I will see you soon. Пока-пока.